How's it, folks? So today I'm sitting with Sandy and Warren, which is also Sapphirs that arrived in Canada. When did you arrive? 2019?
2019, yeah.
2019. So Sandy actually responded on one of our mails, one of the South Africans in Vancouver email blasts, and she was giving me some tips. So I thought I must come and chat to them. They've had an interesting journey.
Yes.
So, you guys, when you arrived here, you came over just to you thought you were going to come work here, but you came over with the idea of starting your own business, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So tell us a bit more about that.
So, yeah, we have a South African brand called Funky Pants, and we thought this was going to make us enough money to
Stinking
survive.
rich.
Yeah, millionaires.
Next Lululemon.
Yeah, that's fine. And we came here and we moved everything, like literally had our 5 bags, but sold absolutely everything. So we didn't do the big furniture move or anything. We just had our suitcases. Warren had a bike, so he went one of his suitcases so that he could have his bike, and it was a Norco. I mean, they make bloody Norcos in Canada, but he brought it from South Africa.
But he's an avid cyclist,
Yes,
so
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we started our little journey with, it's fun. But you got to talk.
Yeah, it's
With
fine, don't
Funky
worry about it.
Pants, and we very quickly realized that was never going to make us lots of money. So, we started looking for jobs.
So what was the problem with Funky Pants coming in? Why wasn't it going to make a lot of money? Is it like harder to sell? Was it just not profitable enough?
Yeah, I think the main problem was the fact that Lululemon is made here, and what's his name? Lululemon guy. He lives locally. Chuck. In his $75 million house. Anyway, we tried to do events, and people didn't know us. You know, Vancouver is quite a rich, well-established shoppers market. So, you know, they brand loyal. They're very brand loyal to their own product. And we attracted the South Africans, but you pay a lot of money for eventing. So we would do like the Ironman and the Victoria Marathon and the Vancouver Marathon, and we met lots of South Africans, and we had such a jaw, but no money.
Just not making a lot of money, unfortunately.
No.
Sorry, I just want to check. Excuse me, can I ask a big favor? Can we turn the music down a little bit? We're doing a video for YouTube, and can we turn the music down a little bit? Just for a little while.
Thanks. You.
If you can turn it off, it would be great. Okay, so you did a lot of events and everything, and you met a lot of people, but it just didn't get there.
No,
right. No. And then you added another brand to...
Yeah, then...
well, also our whole thing was when we moved, Joe, we looked at a whole lot of products. We wanted to support the South African thing.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of cycling products that were South African made and manufactured and stuff, and the pants and so we just wanted to do our
support South Africa back home by sending money back home.
So
absolutely. So Warren and I went back in 22, and Warren did the Sani to see, and we found this brand socks. And actually, a friend of his bought him Canadian socks, and we were like, "Wow, these are divine!" And I wonder if we could do them in Canada. So our friend knew the owner and introduced us, and we started doing Funky Pants and socks.
Alright, I'll put a. Sandy gave me some cool socks. I'll put this screenshot up or a photo up so you can see it.
Below.
Yeah, and a link down below. It's actually quite cool.
Yeah.
So
and we just did the events, and we both got full-time jobs, and that's tough too, because as I said to you, it's about a whole different way of life, and the Canadians don't like that we are hustlers and taskers.
True.
They want you to stay in your lane. So, like, I know I've read a couple of things about like how to do your CV. Like, that's so important because it's very hard. But you persevere, and we both got jobs, and that kind of hustle mentality rolled out in Vancouver.
So just a step back, finding the jobs.
Yeah.
How did that process go?
So I was quite lucky. I put my CV out on those job website. I forget what it was called. Indeed, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And a woman found my CV that had worked at MTN, and one of the companies I worked for in South Africa was MTN. She worked for MTN in Nigeria, and she phoned me, or she emailed me, and then she phoned me, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love you, and I just know the right company. I'm looking for someone." So I went in, and it was a small business on the North Shore. And I met them, and lots of diversity within the company. They had Peruvians and Iranians, and
It's
all
the Canada,
over.
the Canada
the
mix,
Canadian mix. And funny enough, the owner was ex-African. I think he was from Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so I got the job, and I was a sales manager for a bunch of people. But it was networking, and because she knew that I was from South Africa.
And she was also from the
African Indian
it's something that I often say to people. It's that little connections.
Yeah.
People say we are all the same, but we're not. We are really members of thousands of different tribes. Just the fact that you worked at MTN and she worked at MTN. That's a little thing that sparked a connection. Yourself, Warren?
In finding a job here, that was very hard. Before I came here, I had a few interviews, and my skill set was apparently in demand, but when I got here, it wasn't so much in demand. But it took me nearly a year to find a job.
Wow. And what made the difference in the end?
I eventually ended up with a
broker, business broker.
like a personnel agency.
Yeah.
And I applied for a job, and he phoned me for something completely different. So they were looking for some specific person at an eyewear brand. So that's how we ended up there.
And if I remember correctly, you said you just took the job. It wasn't the job that you wanted, but you took it because you wanted the job.
Yeah, you just have to start somewhere, because as soon as you find a job, everyone wants you. So
That's it. I think oftentimes that's what people have got their sights set on something, and I want to do that.
Yeah, well, stick to your skill set, right? So
true that, but you still got to be open-minded, and you got to understand that. Sometimes you're going to have to start a little bit lower than where you were. It is unfortunately the way it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's not the main reason why I wanted to chat to Sandy and Warren. The thing that I love about what they did is they ended up buying a business out here. So Sandy and Warren, they had the businesses, the socks and the funky pants, which are really cool. And like I said, there will be a link in the description. And we will be showing them off. But they also, they realized that this business is not going to make them like a lot of money. And they were, just take me a step back. I mean, what I loved about your email was that you were thinking about buying a house, and then you decided not to, rather buy a business.
Yeah.
How did the thinking work?
Yeah, so I think the main thing was we were a little bit older, so in our 50s.
Oh, you don't look at it all, so.
He's trying to pay me back for the socks now. Anyway, we looked at a house, we found a house that we liked, we got vetted by the bank, and we just realized that all the money that we brought over divided by 14, because the rand is just, it's so bad. And we would have to tie our money, all that money that we brought, we would have to tie it up into a deposit and take a 25-year mortgage. So they would put us like in our 70s, late 70s, when we would eventually see a return on our investment. And yeah, I mean, I still probably want to jaw when I'm 70, but you know, I don't want to battle for the next 25 years. So we started looking for a little business, and you know, a friend of mine said that there was like a coffee shop for sale, and we reached out to the bank and we said, you know, we want to finance this. Do they do finance or whatever? And yeah, it just it then started.
Well, pointed us in the right
yeah,
direction.
they pointed us in the right direction. And one thing we found that the bank was actually like really amazing. Like
Really
they were so
helpful.
helpful. Yeah. Unlike we found in South Africa, so they wanted to give us money, and the term, like yes, we borrowed a lot of money, but it was for 5 years, wasn't for 25 years.
Yeah.
And the bank was strict, you know.
They were pretty strict, but also the government guarantees if you default on payment that they'll get 80% of it back. So
Nice.
the governments do support
Small businesses.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously,
And
actually.
I mean, we went with RBC, but BDC were fighting for our business as well.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little thing as well, and I haven't even told you this, that BDC, if it's a woman-owned business, they will give you $100,000 finance for a woman-owned business. So, you know, it's like they were fighting. They really wanted our business, but the RBC guy, he was just, there was something special about him, and we decided to go with RBC.
Wow.
But we didn't buy the coffee shop. He came back to us and he said, you know, yes.
run far and
Yeah,
fast.
he said, you're never going to make
So the
money.
bank actually gave you advice on the
Yeah, he looked at
viability
the
of
books
the...
and stuff, and he was like, yeah, it's
Doesn't
Yeah,
look
we
right.
can't, well, first of all, we can't give you any money.
Yeah.
But second of all, like, there's just no.
Don't go and find
Don't
it
go there,
anywhere
yeah.
else either.
And he put us in touch with a business broker. And what the business broker does is, I mean, I'll give you the email actually, and he sends out all the businesses that he has on his books. And
he vets the business.
He vets the business, and we met the broker. He wanted to know more what we were looking for. So it's like a very well thought out process. And we were pooping ourselves because, you know, like all the whole thing, like what do you do for tax and what, like, but they were so helpful. The bank was amazing. The business broker was amazing. And we found this business, and yeah.
And it's the business is called Stan's
Transmission Center, yeah.
Stan's Transmission
Yeah, it's in
Center.
1964.
So it's a 60-year-old business.
Yeah.
And you bought the business because the owner was retiring, or
Yeah, third owner. The first owner retired. The second owner, he worked in the front, and he just bought it and carried on. So like it was as if nothing changed.
Yeah.
And then he's subsequently retired last year.
And you bought the
64.
business with all of the employees and
Yeah, all set up, manager and
manager and everything,
Can't fix a
financed over
transmission.
5 years, you're 3
Yeah.
years almost in, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's been,
Yeah.
it actually makes so much sense now
Yeah.
that you mention it. You know, I think a lot of us South Africans, like you said, arrive here and we go, hey, we're going to go put a large deposit down on a house. And yes, it's great, you put the deposit down, but you've got monthly payments for 25 years with
And
a
a house just becomes a big savings account because you don't really
Yeah.
make money.
No,
Yeah.
whereas the business
brings
is going,
money in every month. Yeah.
that's it.
And I mean, since we've owned this business now, we've sort of acquired another business. We've hired 2 sappers, not because they're sappers, but it's just like they were ready, you know, available, and they came in and they were willing to answer phones, even though the one's a bloody qualified physiotherapist. And the other one is like a technical IT engineer, and yeah.
You know, I think it's one of the things we need to start doing, because if you look at every other cultural group out here, people support you
after
know,
their own.
they look after their own.
Yeah.
It's like, and we should do the same. That's
Yeah.
what the South African Institute is all about. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
creating that network and actually
Yeah.
building up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of businesses or a lot of people retiring. So there's a lot of
Exactly.
businesses up there, up for sale at the moment, which
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
that's the point
There's
I'm
a
trying
lot
to
of
make.
good, long-standing businesses that have been
Yeah.
going for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been looking at the business buying sites for a while now, and chatting to you, I'm thinking, maybe I should actually think about it a little bit harder, because of course, you know, I come back from with a South African mindset that, all right, there's a business, but if I need to go to the bank to borrow money, it's going to be an absolute pain in the ass, and they've
Yeah.
like, you know, I mean,
Because in SA it is a pain.
yeah,
Because they just want so much collateral and stuff. Whereas here they actually just look at the business and go, it's making so much. Can that profit pay the loan back
yeah,
Yeah.
off the books? So they look at that. And then obviously you've got the 20% commitment. So
yeah.
if you're going to put the 20 in, you're going to make sure the rest is going to work, right?
Yeah.
You lose the rest, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I can't believe that we even considered buying a house. Like
It's just what you do.
it just what, and we meet so many South Africans, obviously through the events that we do, and you know they like obsessed. They want to buy a house, and then it's, you know what the cost of houses are here. It's like
crazy.
the most expensive bloody land in the world.
I mean, we were chatting about it earlier, actually, about what do you do in the end if you don't have a house? Well, you get an RV because it's freaking beautiful out here in North America. There's so many places you can go hang out.
Follow
It's
the
just-
sun.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
That's amazing, though. It's, you know, that's the reason I wanted to chat to you, was because of that part of the story.
Yeah.
The fact that I think we need to start thinking about that as South Africans. We need to open our mind to the fact that, you know, it's worth buying a business or looking into buying a business, because now you've got a revenue generating asset that is also appreciating in value,
Yeah. Yeah.
as
Absolutely.
opposed to the house,
Yeah. Yeah.
Which shortly could be depreciating.
which could shortly be
Yeah.
depreciating.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, you hit the nail on the head when we discussed things earlier. Like, the South Africans are all connected. I mean, Mara used to get the mutters with me because we would go to the mall and I would hear these two people speaking in Afrikaans and I would go, "Khanet," and they would like look at me and like think, "Ooh, what have I heard what they've said or whatever?"
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, there's so many of us, and you know, and just being open to like trying something, and if it doesn't work, you know, try something else. Like we've tried stuff that didn't work, we've
Of
tried
course.
stuff that worked, and you know, you just learn and shift and adjust, and yeah, it's been a fantastic, not easy journey. And our circle is small. We still have family and friends in South Africa. Like, how do you start again in your 50s, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But it's been wonderful. And yeah, if I can give any advice, it's, you know, just hang in there. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
it's
just
absolutely,
Keep going.
keep
It's
going.
like-
Yeah. Wake up every day, it's a new day.
The easiest way to get yourself in trouble is to start getting depressed about something,
Exactly.
because, or to start doubting yourself, because that's when things, it shows, and it actually starts making it worse, not better.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I think that's one of the key things.
100%.
Yeah.
And
you know,
which side do you live? You started off in North Shore.
Van, yeah. I don't know why, but all the South Africans go to the North Shore. But we loved it there. Obviously, the forest and the mountains and everything. It's just beautiful. But it just got really, really busy. And I started working after my sales job, I moved to an IT company in Cloverdale. I actually worked there remotely during COVID.
Yeah.
And they didn't care that I lived in Lynn Valley. And I moved out going to the office in Cloverdale, and, you know, suddenly this just opened up. You know, I met people that lived in the area and whatever. And it's so beautiful. We now live in Ocean Park. I'm like 2 blocks from the sea, right near the border. It's quiet. There's lots of trees, lots of sappers. I mean, we went to the South Surrey Rugby Club, And guess what their bloody bar's called?
For the World Cup.
The Shark Tank.
Lovely.
Choose God. It's called the Shark Tank. I mean, really.
And they sold portables and pop.
But yeah, it's just
Oh, that's
lovely.
amazing. I'm actually, one of the things I want to start doing is, because there's the Capilano Rugby Club.
Yeah.
I want to go chat to them. So next year when the rugby season starts, so that we can actually do that. They have boerewors and pap.
Yeah,
we went to Kelowna to the Poiki and Vernon, the Poiki Costing in Vernon a while ago, a couple of weeks ago. And on the Sunday we watched the rugby in a little bar in Kelowna, but they had a boerie breakfast, boerewors with baked beans and everything. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That's
and
how you want to watch
there's
it.
enough shops here that sell all the
all
the goodies
the
from
requirements,
home. I mean,
yeah.
everything. So
So,
And apparently in Ocean Park, or not Ocean Park, Crescent Beach, there's a guy, that South African guy, he's a coach for the rugby team. So like it's everywhere.
there's enough Saffas around.
Yeah.
But
it's
I'm
crazy.
just like you. It's like also my kids hate it because I walk down the street, I hear somebody say something. I got to tell you this funny little story. So we live on Sentinel Hill, and I'm driving down there one day, and it's on a day the Springboks are playing.
Oh, yeah.
And I see this guy coming past with this green jacket, and I've got Springboks in my mind, and I see the jersey, and I'm like, that must be a South African with his green Springbok green freaking hoodie or whatever jersey. So he's going in the same direction as me down the hill. So and then he pulls in front of his gate, the gate there, and he starts opening the gate, and I pull up next to him, and I open my window, and I'm like, hey, how's it? And it was some Asian dude with a green shirt. he thought I'm trying to rob him or something. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's
Any which way.
Well, also, I don't know if you've been to the Sevens. Have you ever been?
We've been, we've been to the
That
Sevens.
Sea of Green.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for sharing your story. I'm going to make a video about stands, and we'll definitely hear more about Sandy and Warren, I guess. I love what you guys are doing, and I think it's amazing. And if somebody's thinking about buying a business, would it be okay if they have a chat with you, or at least connect with your broker, or
sure.
100%. Yeah.
Steer them in the right direction.
and you say the guy at the bank that you know also, he's quite well.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Awesome. And he builds an awesome relationship with you. I mean, I think I speak to him at least once a month. So
Still, even after.
Yeah, they go for lunch together. I'm like, what about
he comes
me?
to the shop and comes and has a look, and
That's amazing.
It's just really a wonderful change of direction for us, and it's just made things so much easier for us to be able to have this income coming in. We're not really worried about working for somebody else. We work for ourselves. It's just really, really stunning.
It's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people struggle when they go from working for a boss because they believe in that salary and that security. But you know what? Oftentimes, I've been an entrepreneur all my life, and I tell you what, the security on a salary is, if the boss fires you, you're done.
Let me tell you,
your
it's tough.
security means absolutely bugger all. Really.
And it's tough
Nothing.
here. There's nothing to protect you.
Yeah.
Like if they don't like you, they just say you're just not a good fit.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah,
you later.
there's no
And
there's no
CCMA
labor laws,
and
yeah.
la la la
No,
la. Yeah.
and then of course the other side of the coin is if it's your own business, it could also struggle, but at least you can freaking haul. You can fight. You can do something.
Yeah.
Everything has its ups and downs.
So, what's the thing that you find the worst about Canada? The thing you like the least?
The cold.
The cold.
Yes, I hate it.
Cold in the rain.
The rain.
Yeah.
I know.
Short days.
When I moan about it, because I do moan about it a lot, Warren goes, "But we do live in a rainforest."
But it just
you
gets
got-
to you.
Yeah.
You
It does.
got to get used to it, there, right?
Yeah.
For me, I think it's the thing that nothing ever costs what it says it costs.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, how weird is that?
There's always
you
a
buy
tax
something,
somewhere.
but you
Yeah,
buy
just-
something and you see the little thing at the veggie shop and it says that it's $9.99 a pound, but
Yeah.
they charge you in kilos. But
Yeah.
nowhere on there does it say that
Kilo
it's kilos.
price. No.
There's
And
no
then, of
price.
course, you know, I made a video quite a while ago where I was talking about that, and I'm like, it's so stupid. In South Africa, if you walk up there and this thing costs $3,
Yeah.
then if you get to the toll and they want to charge you more,
Yeah.
then
You go, no,
you
no,
get
no,
it
no.
for free because
Yeah.
it's like, if it says 3, it's 3 on the toll slip. It's
Yeah.
done. There's no extra.
Yeah.
Here, like,
Yeah,
oh no, this is $3 plus an environmental fee of 70 cents and a
Yeah.
carbon tax and a this and a that
Yeah.
and a GST and a PST.
I know, it's
And then
crazy.
people defend it. Some of my viewers that are Canadians, they're like, yeah, but it's because it needs to be clear what it is. I'm like, no, it doesn't make a difference. You can still say $3 and on the toll slip say where everything went. I mean,
Yeah.
anyway.
No, it's crazy. Crazy.
All right, folks. Nice having you on the channel
thank
and
you
nice
so much.
chatting
Yeah,
to you. And
you too.
I'm sure we'll be in touch again
Lovely.
and speak a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
Stunning. Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you. Yeah.
Cheers.